TM6. Today is a live demonstration which I will be saving as a recording for future reference for anyone who may want to see what the Thermomix does, how it works, and how it could be an extra pair of hands in your kitchen at your house. So welcome along. I'm hoping a few people jump on live, but I do understand I'm actually filming this on a Saturday afternoon and I'm sure everyone is probably busy. But what I want to do today is do a run through of a demo of sorts, go through the machine and make three things with you. We're going to start off with a frozen fruit ice cream, which is 3 ingredients and it's made in under 5 minutes. We're going to make a pizza dough, which we're going to rest while we then go on to make our main course today. And the dish I'm doing today is called a chicken veloute dinner. So this is an all-in-one meal. It's actually a soup and chicken and steamed vegetables all done at the same time, which is so fantastic. And I want to show you how you can get the most out of the whole complete machine. Just a quick run through the TM6 itself. The unit here comes with your spatula, your splash guard, your butterfly attachment. It comes with your varoma, which we're going to use today. This is a steaming attachment that sits on top. And it also comes with the simmer basket, which is sitting inside here, which we're going to use as well today. So I'm going to set that aside for now because we don't need that until we hit the main course today. If you have any questions, please fire them at me. But most importantly, I would love it if you could send me a message. Obviously, if you're watching the recording of this, all my contact details will be in the description below. So feel free, I'm just going to raise my badge a little bit. It looks a bit off to the side. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. I can help anybody Australia-wide, and I have customers all over Australia. And even if you are from New Zealand or the UK, reach out to me because I know amazing consultants there that can certainly help you and guide you as well. I don't seem to be able to see my live chat. If anyone is there, if you could give me a hello, just so I know that I can see if anyone is there. All right, so your TM6. This is an all-in-one. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello. This is the home screen. So when you switch on your machine, and if you have purchased, if you go on to purchase one from me, hello, I see everyone now. With this, you get my unboxing video, which is on here. I may link it in the description below as well. And Cookie Dough set up as well because we have our online recipe platform. Hello, Karen. Hello, everyone. All right, so this is our home screen. This is where we're going to do manual cooking. So we have 3 modes of cooking with a Thermomix. We have guided cooking, we have created recipes, and we have home screen here, which is manual cooking. We also have a whole screen of all these different modes. Now, I'm not going to go into detail of those today because my unboxing video has all those details for you. So really, it would be unnecessary for me to go through all of those. You can want to see what they are, look in the description below. I'll link that video for you. The other thing is we have our inbuilt recipe platform, which is called Cookie Dough or Cook I Do, depending on where you come from and how you want to pronounce it. It is an app and it looks like this on your phone, and you bring up the app and the app mirrors what you see on the screen here. So we scroll down and we'll see the same sort of things that we see on our app. So these talk to each other. We can plan out our week. So my week today is this is what we're making today. Okay. So I've planned that out. When I go to my machine here to my week, it's got the exact same recipe sitting here ready to go. Now what you can also do from this is create a shopping list. You can go through your shopping list, which I have done today, and as I've bought what I needed or had at home what I needed, I've ticked off the list. So if I tap these here, it'll put them back onto the list. But if I have them or I'm at the shops and I've bought them, I would take them off the list. What you can also do is share that list, and you can also order ingredients online through Woolworths Click and Collect Home Delivery, which is very convenient for busy people. So if you are a person that's very busy in life, this can be an absolute magic time-saving tool for you. Cookie Dough recipes shopping lists. All right, so let's get started. More importantly, we're going to make some food. So the first thing we're going to do is bring up the Fruity Dream recipe. Now I'll give you a closer look of what that recipe looks like. I am going to do the TM6 version today. There are a couple of different versions of this recipe. The TM6 version actually cooks the egg white, which means it's safe for people who are immune compromised, pregnant, etc. So it's the one that we would normally do at our demonstrations because it covers everyone in the room. So if we scroll down, you'll see it's easy. So there's a little bar along the bottom here, which looks very like this, but different. So it tells you it's an easy recipe, the prep time, the total time, and how many portions it's going to make. Now with this recipe, you can actually up the portions or down the portions. Some recipes have this capability, not all. Some of them you're going to do it through created recipes, but it does mean that if you have a bigger household or a smaller household, you can adjust the recipe. However, this is ice cream. So I'm just going to go with the standard 8 portions as it says and get cooking on that now. All right, so with that also, all your ingredients are here on the machine and on the recipe, all your nutrition, your macros, tips and tricks, and all the wonderful things. This recipe just asks for frozen fruit, all right? So you are only limited by your imagination. There are so many great flavour combinations out there. Today I'm keeping it quite simple. I'm doing mixed berries, and the mixed berries are berries that I've gotten out of the freezer. My kids have maybe said, I want berries, and then all of a sudden have decided they don't want to eat the berries. So rather than throw them out, before your fruit goes off, get it in the freezer straight away. You've got ingredients for frozen fruit ice cream. So with our Thermomix, we have the built-in scales. So everything weighs in grams. So rather than having to get spoons and cups and other measurements out, you just weigh directly into the bowl. So this is raw sugar. And today what we're going to do here is mill the raw sugar into icing sugar. Now, you're in control of these ingredients as well, which is really important to note. If you are cutting out the sugar or if you use a different type of sweetener, 100% do that, okay? This, I always say to people, is a guide, it's not the law. So if you think, oh, I'd rather not have that much sugar, lessen it, all right? You do you, as I say. So what we're going to do now is show how the Thermomix can mill. So I want you to think of things like rice flour, nut meals, all the things that you would normally buy separately that cost a lot of money, you can do yourself. All right, so what I'm going to do is turn this up to a very high speed of 9, and we're going to turn that raw sugar into icing sugar. So I'm going to do half this time. I would possibly end up with something similar to a caster sugar or a white sugar, yeah? So let me show you that. This is often a real wow at our demonstrations because people get very excited, not realising that this is how we make icing sugar, all right? So raw sugar, milled down, white sugar, caster sugar, icing sugar. One of the things you will do with a Thermomix is save money, okay? I'm someone who is on a tight budget. It's a big investment, but it's going to pay you back in all the money you're going to save by doing things from scratch that normally you would pay extra for. So in other words, buying the nuts and the nut meal. Now, if you have the nuts, you've got the nut meal. If you've got raw sugar, you've got all your sugars covered, etc. All right, so normal demonstrations, I'd be having interactive conversation. If you have any good questions as we're going, please fire them at me. Otherwise, please imagine if I was in your kitchen at your house or doing an interactive virtual demo, as in you being on the other side with me, then you would be able to ask me questions all the way. Again, send me a message, etc. Please don't be shy. Now, a butterfly, which comes with our TM6, is a delicate creature. And we never go above speed 4. What we're doing now is we're inserting the butterfly, and in my delivery video, I go into in-depth detail how to put it in correctly, etc. Now with this, we're going to add to this, if we hit next, 1 egg white. So I have my little egg here. So I'm just going to separate that and get it in. The egg white now is going to be cooked to a safe temperature to consume for, as I said, anyone immune compromised or pregnant. So we'll let the yolk sit aside because I'm sure my puppy dogs will love that in their dinner later. Alright, so I'll just dry my hands. So there's one egg white that's going in. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just pop out our measuring cup like so. Pop our lid on. We'll have a nice shower of sugar everywhere. And we're going to speed for 1 minute. What this is going to do is just cook that egg white off. So a meringue of sorts. Now, if you didn't need to particularly worry about the cooking process of this, the quicker version of this recipe, you can actually put the egg white directly in with the frozen fruit and skip this part completely, which is so fantastic. So while that's doing that for that time, I'm going to talk about the main dish that I'm doing today. Now, currently, we have many accessories that come with the Thermomix, and there is a fantastic offer on right now where you're going to get some of these accessories in your purchase, plus a voucher, which is amazing. Now, our offers change from time to time. So if you're watching this down the line, please understand whatever the current offer is what you're going to get with your Thermomix. But let's talk about these accessories. So this is our cutter. This is your food processor. So your Thermomix will replace up to 20 small appliances in your kitchen at home, which is fantastic because I know for myself, when I purchased my Thermomix, I cleared out a whole corner cupboard of stuff, donated it, and now just have this one unit that does everything for me. All right, let's pause for a minute. What we're going to do is use our spatula that comes with it, because the next thing it's going to ask us is to scrape the egg whites around. So you see that? We've already started to cook that up. So we're going to scrape that around, scrape it down the side. So we just take our spatula right around, leaving that butterfly in there, because we're going to repeat that step for just another minute. So put that on. Hit the next button, lid on again, and then we're going to go to speed 4 again. So this is amazing because it actually doesn't touch the bench. So you can sit there, major it though. So back to the accessories quickly. This is our cutter. It's a slicer and grater. So think potato bake, think coleslaw, think cheese, all those sorts of things. Coming next year is a spiralizer which attaches into this cutter. I have the components here because I've used them today for the next part of the recipe. So there's 3 parts to this. There's 2 different blades. There's a pusher and the holder for that. That fits into our cutter. So if you've got one of these and the spiralizer comes available, you're covered because it goes into here. And what I've done with those is I have ribbon zucchini, so you'll see here, and also noodled zucchini. So I've actually got this sitting in water so it doesn't discolour. So believe it or not, that is 2 zucchinis, and when you see it go into the varoma later, you'll be blown away, I assure you. All right, back to the recipe at hand. So here now, it's going to ask us to remove the butterfly, so a little jiggle, and give it a little shake because we are going to use this again. So I'm just going to set it onto a plate for a minute. That is going to go back in. Now in my thermoserver here, thermoservers are host rewards that you can get your hands on. They're amazing. So these are my berries. These are the berries that my kids have, or myself, we've purchased and we've gone, oh, we're not going to eat it, so let's get it in the freezer. You of course can buy your own frozen berries, whatever frozen fruit from the supermarket. Can I say, if you buy it yourself, so you bought too much fruit, whatever the fruit is, freeze it. It's just that little bit more special. And plus you probably know where it's coming from then. Now I love that the TM6 actually has a full colourful screen that gives us video instructions, because what we're going to do next is we're going to use this to help stir the fruit around. Now depending on what time of year, and I'm talking winter rather than summer, you'll see condensation on the bowl a lot quicker, and this fruit with the stainless and the cold will stick to the side. So this will help to move it along. All right, let's go. So if you watch what I do, you'll be fine. This is blend mode. We just need to turn the dial a tiny bit and off we go. And when you're making this, you're going to hear all sorts of really weird noises, but trust the process. So the spatula is designed that it's not going to touch the blades. The other great feature we have is the preview button, and that's telling me that next we're going to reinsert the butterfly, but what you're going to want to make sure is that your ice cream is already looking creamy. What I generally find too, when you're using the fresher fruit, like the fruit that you've frozen, you may want to repeat this step, but you always want to have a look and check. So let's have a look, let's see. Quite often people at this point are like, what? Wow. Remember, 3 ingredients. All right, now, I would like to blend this further. Okay, and to be honest, I had more fruit than it was asking for. There's still a few chunks in there. So what I'm going to do is give that a scrape, and I'm going to repeat that step. And how do I do that? I just hit the back button. A little bit in there. So we're pretty much there, as you can see, but wait, there's more. And plus that needs a little bit more blending. My strawberries were beautiful, big, fresh, massive ones that I did freeze because I knew they weren't going to be eaten in time. So let's repeat that step. I may not need to use this as much, but I will listen. One thing you'll note with Thermomix is you learn your sounds. So I can definitely hear what sounds like a bit of frozen strawberry floating around in there. And remember, when you purchase your Thermomix from me, you've got my help all the way. I've been a consultant for just over 10 years now. Trust me when I say if I don't know it, I know someone who will know it. So you're in good hands. Or perhaps you might be purchasing a Thermomix from one of the girls in my team. And trust me when I say, again, you're in great hands. Because they've got me to help them, to help you as well. Alright, that sounds perfect to me. We were nearly at time anyway. Alright, so let me show you what we've got now. So this is what we call our before. So look at that. Now this bowl is a 2.2 litre bowl. That's a hell of a lot of ice cream already, right? I know my daughter's going to be very happy when I restock the Fruity Dream, because this is the ice cream that it's okay to have for breakfast. Alright, so I want you to think of things like acai bowls. Gelato. When you go to the beautiful gelateries and you get the fruit ice creams, this is what you're getting, okay? So think of the money you will save there. Now, the fun part here is getting that butterfly back in. Can take a bit of practice, but with practice, we become better at everything in life, right? So what you want to do is just make sure, I think she's in. It looks pretty good. I'll soon know because it'll make an interesting noise if it's not. So just getting into place. Sometimes, especially if you have a lot in here, you may want to just adjust. No, that's in. Alright. My hands are washed. Obviously this is going to be eaten by myself and my family, and I started with clean hands, so don't come at me about using my hands without gloves. There's nobody else but us here. Alright, so we're going to pop that back on. So again, in here we have that little bit of raw sugar at the start, egg white and frozen fruit. Now what the butterfly is going to do with that is create light, airy, beautiful, scoopable frozen ice cream made with 3 ingredients. Oh no, she wasn't on right. That's That's a noise it'll make. There we go, lesson number 1. Or is she? Hang on a minute, she might be. I think there might be a strawberry in there still. Oh yeah, she's on. There might be a strawberry in there still down the bottom. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. Let's see. Yep. There we go. We're on. This is incredible. What happens now is the magic. That light, airy, beautiful ice cream. Now what I do need is a container to put it into. Lucky for me I have a couple because it does make a hit. So I know they've got little ones like these on the mix shop. I know we used to have these on the mix shop, but there's any container will do that can go in the freezer. Right. Wait till you see this. It is something else. And guess what? I get to be the taste tester. So 5, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, so we saw the before and now we're going to see the after. If you're an owner and you're watching, have you made this? Let me know. And also, what flavour combinations might you do? Look at that. Look at that. That never gets old for me. Never. I'm going to have to take a photo. Definitely. Should have done it before. It's so light and airy, and you can just scoop it directly from the freezer. Now after some time in the freezer, she will go a little icier, like ice cream. Alright. Oh, dropping things. Wouldn't be me if I didn't drop something. But trust me, if you want it light and airy, just throw it in and reblend it. Look at that. You can see, it's beautiful. Alright. Let me just grab the container that fell off the bench. Right, this is where we're going to scoop this into here. I'm just going to use my spatula. And again, show you. Light, fluffy, beautiful, 3-ingredient ice cream. Now another thing I like to suggest to people is if you are wanting to cut out the sugar completely, just skip the sugar part at the front. Now the steps of the recipes are live, so you can absolutely jump steps. And what you do is just cook your egg white, but when you're blending your fruit, throw in a frozen ripe banana. It adds a sweetness that's healthier, and it also gives it that lovely creaminess as well. So there's one tub. And here's another. So have a think about the cost of this if you were to go and buy this from the shops. And this is what I talk about when you are going to save money with a Thermomix. Plus, you're going to knock the socks off everybody you know with your skills as an expert gelateria. Great dessert if you have last minute guests or you forgot to plan dessert. Can't beat a bit of frozen fruit ice cream. So the only thing is, this is the only bit you want to be licking if you're making anything yummy. I'm going to sacrifice that now. You get it all out. So we're going to go all the way around the outside of the bowl with our spatula, trying to avoid those blades. And then I'm going to show you a little trick, which I will use a couple of times today, if I need to. We'll make our pizza dough, which is next. I'm not very tidy at getting this all out and into the container well, but there we are. I'll be forgiven. So see how there's stuff all stuck around the blades? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your lid and you're going to put it back on with our measuring cup. Oh no, it's here, look. There it is. And then we're going to come out of the recipe, and it says serve immediately or freezer. So I'm just going to whiz it up to top speed and stop it. So the blades are designed to go out and in this motion, so it's flicking it out to the side. And therefore, we get every last bit of that out. Now, here's another hot tip. If I wasn't doing this demonstration today, I'm sure there would be an absolute volunteer in my house if I put some milk in there and made a smoothie. All right, so that's another great thing to do. If ever you're melting chocolate for anything, you want to add some milk, put it onto, you can put it onto something like kettle mode and then blend and make hot chocolate. Lots of yummy things you do. Another great thing is nice cream, as they call it. So it's banana, frozen banana. You can add cocoa, peanut butter, and it comes out like a beautiful chocolatey vanilla ice cream, but it's with bananas. So tiny water halfway up the bowl. Goes back into the housing. We have a pre-clean mode. Right, let me see if I can make this a bit tidier before I put the lid on. And I have dropped some here because it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. Excuse me, no. Now please know, I'm just a mum. This is my home life. And that is my disobedient dog barking in the background. So apologies for that, but this is how real life viewing. Right, I'll clean that up with a cloth. But there we go. Look at that beautiful colour. Lovely, light, fluffy ice cream. All right, I'm going to set that aside for a minute and then get that out to the freezer while my dough is doing its thing in a minute. So put that lid on. Give my hands a wash. Now, pre-clean. What we do is we swipe across and we have the modes here. This is our pre-clean mode. So with the lid on, all right, with this one, short. Just a quick pre-clean for this. There are different settings for different types of clean. Taste test. Well, that never gets old. So good. Light, fluffy, airy, 3-ingredient ice cream. Yum. All right, that's enough of that. Let me clear the way. Let's grab a cloth. And of course, dishwasher safe. And I guarantee you at the end of the day, if I'm not moving in between steps for different recipes, then the bowl goes in the dishwasher in my house. All the parts except for the housing go in the dishwasher. All right, I'm going to carry on because as a consultant, as a Thermomix owner, I actually have 2 TN6s and many bowls, right? As an average household user, the Thermomix that comes as it is probably very sufficient for most. However, I won't lie, with the current offer, you are able to get your hands on one of these with that voucher. An extra bowl is invaluable. All right, so my week again. Now we're going to make ourselves some pizza dough. So let's talk takeaway. How much are we spending on takeaways? I used to, before having a Thermomix, pretty good cook, but every now and then you want a night off. And I would get pizza, but not just any old pizza. I want a good, decent, proper pizza shop pizza for the family. And it would cost, and this is over 10 years ago, now maybe even more, around the $70 mark for my family of 5, at least. Yeah? So, when I first invested in the Thermomix, the first thing I thought was, I can make my own pizzas, we're going to save a fortune. Now, depending on where you buy your pizza, your flour from, okay, depends on how cheap it is. I do buy the huge bag from Costco, and it is about 25 kilos for about $21. So it is very economical. However, there are many different ways of buying baker's flour or double O pizza flour, whichever one you want to choose. The price point is entirely up to you. Do your research, chip in with friends, go halves. I mean, there are many ways to get good value out of cooking from scratch. All right, so the first part of this recipe actually tells us to preheat the oven. I'm actually going to put it into a cold oven, and I'm going to show you that process. But I'm also going to kind of lessen the flavour, and I'm going to halve the dough. I'm going to do a half a pizza bianca for you today, and then the other half is going to be my daughter's dinner tonight. So I'm being smart. Now, dough you can absolutely make in advance. So that's a couple of garlic cloves going in. It wants 3 sprigs of rosemary. This grows in the garden if you stick it in the ground and ignore it, okay? Don't ever water rosemary. Just stick it in the ground somewhere, ignore it, and you will have rosemary for life. This stuff is beautiful. So what we're doing here is pizza bianca, which is white pizza. It's a herb garlic bread type situation. You'll see the process as we go. What we're going to do first up is chop up that garlic and rosemary. All right, so 4 seconds, speed 7. And then we're going to scrape that down and repeat that step, right? So normally if I was in your house with you, I'd be getting you to do this part. I'd just be standing there guiding you on your way. So if anyone is local to me and would like me to come, please by all means reach out. So can you see? 3 seconds, speed 7. This never gets old. And the smell of garlic and rosemary, you can only imagine, is divine. So if you did the entire part of this recipe, it makes a very large pizza, or rustic focaccia, I like to call it as well. As you can see, I could do this recipe in my sleep. Or this amount of dough would make 3 thin-based family-sized pizzas. So again, when we're talking about the price point, I'm going to be using, from memory, 400 grams of flour. So if it's 25 kilos for $21, we're well under the dollar per kilo. So half of that, you do the math. It's very cheap to make breads, pizzas, etc. All right, so we want a little bowl. I'll grab one out of here, because we're going to set some of that aside. So that's the second chop. You can see all nicely chopped up. What we're going to do with this is it's going to become the topping of our pizza bianca, but also we're going to leave some of that flavour in the bowl, and it's going to infuse in the dough, which who wouldn't love that, right? The only thing is though, my daughter, she's fussy. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get it all out today. I just thought of that. She will not eat the pizza if there's rosemary in it. And to be honest with you, I'm all about working smart, not hard. So I work on getting every last bit of that out, and I'll be good to go without having to wash the bowl. And what I'll do is I'll put that on top of the one that my elder daughter and I will eat, and we'll keep it plain for the younger one. Smart? Yes. Alright. There's bits in it. She won't have it. Alright. I'm just going to, like I did before, I'm going to hit the home button. I'm going to come to the main screen, and I'm going to flick that out. Just to make sure I get every last bit of that out of there. Alright, so it just flicks that all out to the side. And you know what? I'm actually going to give that a quick rinse as well. Just because I don't want any issues. And the next ingredient going in is water anyway. Right, back to where we were. So there's our garlic and rosemary ready. Look at that. Smell is so divine. Transfer to a bowl set aside. 220 grams of water. So again, we've got the scales built in. So they're going to weigh that for us. I'm just trying to be careful not to spill it everywhere. Now with our scales, they do go in 1 gram increments. Extremely precise with the TM6. If you have or have had an older model, we just go in 5 and 10 gram increments. Don't be upset if you're a little over or under. It will be absolutely fine. Teaspoon of sugar. Let me show you a little trick here. So we can bring up the dots, bring up the scales. Teaspoon is 5 to 7 grams. Tablespoon is 20. So these are all the little tips and tricks that come with purchasing through a consultant. There we go. Right, yeast, again, 2 teaspoons. So again, scales. Bring that up. So that's about, go 14 grams with yeast because it's very light. There we go. And then we're going to activate that now. Put the lid on. It's set at 2 minutes, 37 degrees, and selector 1. Now you just do this and it will stop where it needs to go. So our little guided cooking stops where you are. However, if I was to come now, it would keep going. So just know, you just need to turn your dial and it'll get to where the speed wants it to be. Well, how is everyone going? I feel like there's no commenting at all today. All messages are visible. I'm going to quickly duck out to the freezer. Watch my machine for me for a minute, will you? While I put my ice cream away. Right. And there we go. While I'm here, I'll put a few other things I don't need away, like the yeast. Now, yeast you can buy from supermarkets, etc. It's readily available. Always have it on hand when you're making things like this. So yes, 400 grams of baking flour comes next. So we hit the next button. Then we want 30 grams of olive oil. I do like to use a nice light tasting olive oil when I'm making things like this. I don't want it to be overpowering. And what I am going to do then is use my Thermomix baking mat. So these are a host reward and also available on the Mix shop. So if you're buying a Thermomix right now and you're using the voucher, you can put it towards something like this. If you're hosting, then you can get one for free as a host reward. You're going to make homemade pizza? Go, Karen, that's amazing. All right, so what I'm going to do with that is lay this out here. This is great for doing pastry, breads, doughs, everything like that, keeping the mess off the bench. It's also great to wrap the dough into and let it prove. So we do 1 prove, and then we're going to put it into a cold oven. And if you're putting it into a hot oven, you may want to let it do a 2nd prove. But because I'm putting it into a cold oven, the cold oven as it heats up will do the 2nd prove for me. All right, so let's get that off and move that out of the way. Next, I'm going to add in the flour. So again, this is just the baker's flour that is from Costco. Sometimes I also use 00 flour just to be a bit fancy. You can actually do a combination of both. As long as you've got baker's flour, you're good. Now I have done a bread baking course with a Michelin star chef, a French one indeed. And a good plain flour is also usable. You just need to make sure that you have over 10 grams of protein on the panel on the side. So please be checking that. Your bread dough is a higher protein content, all right? Now, I'm adding in there the salt, so I've got my little salt flake container here. If you are gluten-free, then get in touch. I can talk to you about different ways of making gluten-free breads, pizzas, etc. But for today, we're just doing a normal pizza dough. So now the machine is going into what's called interval or the kneading function. So it is doing the hard work that you would normally be doing on a bench, okay? So with this, it's quite fascinating to watch it come together. So 2 minutes in here is going to bring that pizza dough together. I'm going to then put it onto my mat here with just a little bit of olive oil on the mat. All right, so mostly with breads, we're working with water or olive oil. Not generally, unless it's a sweeter dough, are you using extra flour to work with the dough, because then you will change the consistency of the dough. So a little bit of olive oil or wet hands is usually sufficient. So what I'm going to do today is put aside some for the kid in here, and I'm going to fridge that for later on, and the rest is going to make our pizza bianca here. When you're using things like the silicone mats, you must make sure you're only using plastic or your silicone spatula, not metal, alright? Because here it is, if you use metal, it's too sharp and it will cut the fibres of your mat. Sharp knife, so always plastic, or even your spatula works well for cutting your doughs, your pastries, etc. These are also available in the mix shop. They're a couple of dollars. Don't forget too, with our mix shop kitchen store, it is an online kitchen store for anybody. It's got amazing things, wonderful prices. I'm pretty sure the sale of Boxing Day is still on at the moment, so there's a few things reduced down in price. What I will say is if you are signing up to My Mix Rewards when you're using the Mix Shop, you'll get a $15 welcome voucher to use at the Mix Shop. And if nothing else, it will save you on the postage of an order that's under a certain amount. Mix Shop, My Mix Rewards gives you points for every dollar you spend. You get a voucher when you hit 100 points or 1,000 points. You get $10 vouchers for your birthday. Think of all the wonderful reward programs. That's what it is. So get on to that. All right, so there's our pizza dough. Bind it together. So we're going to turn our bowl up onto the mat, and we're going to use the bottom of the blades here to twist to release the dough. And then I'm going to just grab that bit out there. Now remember when we made the frozen fruit ice cream? Now I'm an expert. I've had this a long time. I'm going to dig that out. But for anybody new, stick it up to top speed for 1 second, stop it, and that flicks all that dough out to the side. So there you go, look at that. Nice, easy, clean. So what we're going to do again is add the water, the tiny drop of dishwashing liquid. And while I'm bringing that together and getting everything ready here, we're going to put it on a dough pre-clean. So with this recipe now, it tells you all the steps of what to do next, how to work it together, bring it together, drizzle it with oil, sprinkle the stuff, blah, blah, blah. I know it, I've done it many times. So I'm going to skip ahead, put it on dough pre-clean. With the pre-clean, you'll hear the Thermomix going slowly around. There is a sensor in the bottom of the bowl, and it's basically going, how dirty is this bowl and how long do I need to clean it for? Now, see, you're just bringing that dough together into a ball, all right? And I'm going to actually cut that a bit off for my daughter's pizza. So half of that, or less than half, I'm just going to put into, and I will oil it, got my little Bertolli spray here. I'm just going to put that into there. That's going to go into the fridge and do a slow brew. This now, I'm just going to roll this again, using my mat here, wrap it, and then let that sit and double in size. Now I do want to say here that I make this look easy. It is practice, but believe me, when I first got a Thermomix 10 years ago, no idea. Never had I made a dough, never had I made a loaf of bread, none of the above. Now, one of our other amazing accessories, which I haven't talked about, is our Thermomix sensor. I'm not going to use this in a pizza today because pizza's a flat of bread. You don't really need to worry about it. You'll know when it's cooked, trust me. But this is fantastic for your loaves of breads, your sourdoughs, etc. It's also great for cakes, meats, and all the things. So this Bluetooths to the Thermomix TM6, and it tells you when your food is cooked. And it works with your oven, you work it in your air fryer, you can even use it in your barbecue. These are amazing. The Thermomix sensor, that has been a game changer for me, especially when it comes to baking breads, so loaves of bread. It just tells you when it's cooked. Makes life very easy. Now what I'm going to do is just pop this dough over to the side. I have got the aircon on in here today and a fan on me, and I want it to be in a warmer part of the kitchen. So when you are working with doughs, think a front seat of your car if it's winter and it's been sitting in the sunshine, wherever your hot water system might be in your house. I'm going to stop that there. Yes, think warmer part of the home where you can put your dough. Just watch for bugs, pets, etc. All right, let's carry on. We're doing well for time here. All right, so that goes back, forward, back, forward. I'll just tip that out, give you a look. Clean. Look at that. So brush it out, off you go. Right, what I'm going to do is just give that a bit of a rinse, because that's all it needs. And then we're going to dry it and push on and make our main dish now. So, what I'm making today is the chicken veloute dinner. This meal also can be done with salmon. There is a variation if you scroll down the bottom. So if I bring up the recipe here, my week, we're doing chicken veloute meal, TM6. So there is an older version, because this recipe's been around for a long time. It was one of our most popular demo dishes when I first started. It's now not really on our menu matrix, but it is a classic, and I thought what better to show you today, because we're going to use the whole machine and we're going to make you a soup and chicken and veggies. Winning. Alright, so let's again show you. If you scroll down, it tells you difficulty, it's easy, prep time, total time, how many portions it's going to make, all the steps, which are live steps. So if you're missing out, say the first part of a recipe might be grating cheese and you already have done that, you can skip it to the step where after the grating of the cheese. Alright, so let's just hit start cooking. I've got everything prepped here. Now, again, I want to highlight, these recipes are guided, they're not the law. So if you think, I would never just put one garlic clove in any recipe. Okay, so you put as much of those things as you like. Alright, so because I'm eating this, I'm being very generous. Alright, we're going to weigh in the olive oil next. And we're going to chop that up. And then we're going to saute that. Alright, so next, lid on. Next. Speed 7, 3 seconds. So we're chopping that up. You'll hear the sound changing. You'll know it's done. Then we're scraping it down as it's instructed us here. So it throws it up the side. So there, garlic chopped in the olive oil. So we're just going to scrape that down. Okay, and then what we're going to do is place our simmer basket, which I have here. Next. And we're going to saute that for 3 minutes. Then we're going to add in our onions. Now I have skipped ahead and I've prepped the onions here, but I haven't done my potatoes and my leeks. Now, only because I have done this recipe many times in my life do I know the process here now. Now, earlier I showed you the zoodles that I made here, so I'm going to also, using my Verona dish for a minute, use that as a strainer. These bits aside. Tip that water out. Okay, and I'll use that to catch the drips. Right, so let's just show you my carrot noodles and my zucchini zoodles. Alright, so this is using our spiralizer. Look at that, it's so cool. And the carrot. There we go. Now listen, if you don't have a spiralizer, and there's the ribbon of zucchini that goes on and on and on. That's one zucchini. Look at that. On. That's one zucchini. On. On. One zucchini. Not a massive one either. Anyway, need I go on? This is, you could also just use the slicer attachment, just slice the veggies. Years ago, before we had a cutter, we just used to use our veggie peeler and just peel them into zoodles. There's many ways of doing it, but I just thought that was really cool to highlight the cutter and the spiralizer, which is coming very early this year. I think I said next year. I keep forgetting it's actually January 2025, so it is this year it's coming. But how cool, look at the carrot in little spirals. So if you want to get your kids to eat veggies, this is going to be a game changer for you. All right, let's just tip those into there though, because we don't want to cook those at the start of the steaming. And I need to jump into the fridge and grab the chicken. For the chicken in this recipe, we use tenderloins. You can slice up chicken breast, nice and sort of thin, and that works as well. So your varoma is 3 parts. There's the dish, the tray, the lid. And the chicken tenderloins that we're using today are going to go into the tray. So I am using chicken tenderloins. What I wanted to highlight too is with the spiralizer, it leaves a little extra. Don't waste it. It's going in the soup. Okay, so you can either put it in with the potato and leek or just throw it directly into the bowl. In fact, I'll put it directly into the bowl. All right, so in our basket, when we come up after doing the onions and everything, it wants us to put the leek and the potato into our simmer basket. So in between steps, you can preview what is coming next, okay? So you can be definitely ahead of the game. Now, the other thing I wanted to quickly mention too, never throw out the top of your leeks. This is great for your stock, and we're going to use stock in this recipe. All right, next, we've got 200 grams of onion cut into wedges. Yeah? So we're throwing him in. All right. Let's save the rest. I don't need all of that for this. I'll use that for something else. Onion skin. Okay, now this is where our TM6, we're going to use our high heat splash guard because we're going to sizzle that onion. So think caramelization, think flavor. Our machine goes up to 160 degrees. So we're going to get lots and lots of yummy, delicious caramelization. So with the potatoes in the recipe, I think it asks for Nadine potatoes. Use whatever potatoes you have. I just got these red skin ones. Look, you could peel them if you wanted to. The other accessory I haven't talked about is the blade cover and peeler. So this here sits in the bowl. It's used for slow cooking, sous vide, and also peeling your veggies. Now, personally, I don't worry about peeling my veggies much. So I will just go ahead and put it straight in, peel and all. And when we blend this up and it's all cooked, you won't even see the skin at the end with the soup. It is so good. This is my favourite potato and leek soup. And the thing I love about it the most is it's so creamy and yet there's not one bit of dairy in the soup part at all. So if you are dairy free, this is a great one for you. All right, so we want to get all that veg tucked in tightly. Just giving a little tap because you want to make sure that your lid sits safely on top. That's going into the bowl in a minute. So that's ready there. All right. I've got my little chicken tenders here. What I'm going to do is hit the preview button. It's going to want water to go in next. Our vegetable stock paste. So when you first get your Thermomix, I highly recommend you make this. This is just vegetables, herbs, salt and olive oil, and it replaces stock cubes, the Tetra packs of stock, again saving money. And remember what I said about the leek? The part you would normally throw out, that goes in your stock, okay? So anytime you have extra veg, extra herbs, Ziploc bagger in the freezer, stock herbs, stock ingredients, and you don't waste your food, you make your beautiful homemade stock. This is a punch of flavour for all your food. You don't want to eat it because of the salt content. It's high. It is also the preservative. So you can actually freeze this. It will not go solid. A lot of people have said to me, oh good, I'll put it in ice cube trays. Don't do that because you can't pop it out. It won't go solid. You will scoop it straight out of a container. So I make a chicken one and I keep that in a container in the freezer, which I scoop straight out from the freezer when and if I need it, and the veggie one just lives in the fridge. Alright, so I know ahead of the game that on this tray here, I'm going to be putting these chicken tenderloins, adding salt and pepper, and tarragon is the herb for this one. Now you can use whatever herb you like. Thyme is lovely. I happen to love tarragon, but I don't have fresh. Sometimes I find fresh tarragon. You can grow it, of course. I don't use it enough to actually, it's not something I think of growing. But dry works well as well. And as I said, thyme, whatever herb you want to use that. So I'm just laying those into that tray there. Sit that on there for a minute. Wash my hands. So again, if you're curious to how do I know I need to do this, well, 2 reasons. One, I've made it a million times. The 2, I can jump ahead with my preview button and see what's going on. Alright, so I've done the chicken and leek part, the potato and leek part. Now I'm at to this where it says place the tenders on the Veroma tray with tarragon. So I have dry tarragon here. Tarragon has an aniseedy flavour, but I love it. So a bit of a sprinkle of that, and you want to put a little bit of salt and pepper too. So just your grinders or whatever you have. I might put a bit of salt flakes onto that. That'll do. Alright, so that is going to steam while our soup is cooking down below. So we can put our lid on, that's ready to go. Next, we're going to place it into position when we catch up to this point. So we're all organised. It's really great and very user-friendly. So if you are new here, hopefully you're seeing that it is very user-friendly. Alright, so here the sizzle. Isn't that great? What you want to do, okay, is see the brown at the bottom, get your spatula in there, stir him around and lift that flavour off. That is good stuff right there. Okay, so putting that back on, now we're going to add our 500 grams of water. So we've got some from our other jar. It's 230. And then I have another little jug here ready to go. Alright, 500 grams of water. Now, remember I said about the little offcuts of the vegetables? Don't waste it, that'll be yummy in my soup. Throw it in. Okay. Now we want to add in the stock paste. It's 1 tablespoon. I'm always very generous because I'm a flavour person, right? So a big tablespoon for me. Again, vegetables, herbs, salt, olive oil. That's all that is. Good stuff. And an amazing way to use up things that you'd normally throw out. Veggies are in here, our potato and leek, that sits inside. And our lid goes on. And then our chicken is in here. Right. Secure the lid, 17 minutes we're cooking. So the soup is cooking in the base, which is sending the steam up to here. Now previewing ahead, we're going to carefully lift this off and we're going to add our spiralised veggies underneath in the dish for the last part of the cook. And then there's more to come because we're going to make a soup, a sauce, we're going to do lots of things with that. Now, while that's doing that and we have time, we're going to come back to the pizza dough. So I'll just move this out of the way. So you'll see now the pizza dough is bursting, wanting to burst out of there. So we've grown, we're good. All right, so what you want to do is just gently put you down a little bit, take the air out of that, so lift that off there, excuse my dog. So we're in big trouble in a minute. Right, and like you would make a focaccia, just getting your fingers into there, move it. You want to make those nice little pockets where the olive oil and those herb and garlic are going to sit. Willow. I say real life, this is my house, it's not a professional kitchen. Right. And then we're going to get our beautiful light flavoured olive oil and we're just going to gently drizzle that over the top. Okay. Now on here you could put some cheese as well if you wanted to. But the pizza bianca is the garlic and herb going on top. And as I said, this is going into a cold oven. And the reason why is to give it that second proof. So if you look at it right now, it's pretty flat in the pan, yeah? So giving it that second proof into a cold oven means that it will have time to do a second rise. So you'll see a nice light, fluffy pizza bianca at the end. All right, into the oven. So cold oven at 200 degrees is sufficient. So what I'm going to do here is hit my little drop down box at the top, and I'm going to tap on the timer. All right? And I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes because it will need at least 15 minutes start. So even while the machine is doing its own thing, I can set a timer as well. All right? So I'm going to lift you back up now that we've finished with the dough. Now, at a normal demonstration, I'd be saying, right, everyone, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Can you see how the Thermomix could help you in your life? What comes with? Just so you know, 3 months cookie dough subscription. You get all the parts that you see here, including your basic cookbook, and you get a piece of me with it. I'll be your consultant, or someone in my team will be helping you with my guidance as well. I also would love to talk about becoming a consultant. Just quickly, hear me out. 10 years ago, I really wanted one of these things, and I knew I would have a great difficulty convincing my other half that it was a good investment unless there was some other part of this Thermomix, right? And that was, I signed up to become a consultant. Can I believe I'm still here all these years later? No, I can't, quite frankly. I still can't believe I'm still here. I'm now a team leader. I run a team of 25 here in Australia. I do generally have people on the Gold Coast in my team, but prior I can have people outside, and I've still got a couple of those. If you are anywhere in Australia and you are interested, I can absolutely help with that. I would put you in touch with a local team leader close to you. Ask me the questions. In my link tree, which will be in the description below if you're rewatching this, there'll be a join the team link. If you are in any way curious, I always say get the information before you say no. And I often hear, I'm too busy, I don't have time. Can I just say that busy people make the best consultants because usually you're very organised, that's one. And the other thing is, how much time do you think it requires? Well, you need to ask those questions and get in touch. So if anyone out there is looking for a side hustle, please get in touch with me. I'd love to give you all the information so you can make that informed decision. All right, while she's doing that, what I think we'll do is we've talked about all the accessories. The spiralizer part is coming this year, not next year. How funny. This will be great in our cutter. I love that this has updatable software. So what that means is when we first had this launch, we had 6 modes. We now have 18 modes. And these modes work with the accessories as well as things like the cleaning function, egg boiler. Egg boiler is amazing. So the eggs go directly in the bowl and the blades don't move, and you boil them exactly how you like them. There's 4 or 5 to choose from soft through to hard, of course. We have blend mode, and the other great thing is we have chop. So I'm going to bring you a little closer so you can see directly on the screen here when I bring it up. So chop is perfect for beginners, okay? And maybe for people who've used it for a while but forget. So on here you've got pretty colours of everything that you may want to do, from milling to mincing your meat, to crushing ice, to grinding coffee beans, to chopping up your nuts, your chocolate, all the different types of meats, even cutting an onion, cutting up fruit, poppy seeds, for goodness sake. Rice into rice flour, spices, all the things are here in colourful pictures on the screen. So you can choose what you want to do and how you want to do it, all directly here set for you. This is Chop. Now Chop is something that years ago we would always have to go to our basic cookbook, which is the book that comes with it, to the back, to our resource section, and have a read. Now it's all bright and colourful on the screen. So that is a new addition from when the TM6 was launched. All right, so if we come out of here, we go back. We've got kettle as well, so this can be used as a kettle. Warm up, you can reheat in here. Thicken, which is your bechamels, custards, béarnaise sauce, hollandaise, all those wonderful thicker sauces that you will make, including your own gravy as well. You can rice cook in here. There are 3 different ways to cook rice in this machine. You can ferment. So fermenting can be things like yogurts, your kimchis, your sauerkrauts, etc. Slow cooking. So your slow cooking, your sous vide, and your peeler are using this guy here, which is the current Gifford purchase that comes with one of these. It's also available as host rewards if it's not the Gifford purchase at the moment. Slow cooking, up to 8 hours of cooking. You can use it manually or you can follow the recipes that are built in. Sous vide is, I call that sous vide Sunday because it is timely. It's not a quick thing to do, but it's amazing. The peeler is the peeler, and then the last 2 is your grater and your slicer. And very soon when the spiralizer becomes available, we will have a spiralizer mode as well for ribbons and for zoodles, or the noodling part. So there'll be 2 more modes coming very soon. And the other thing, of course, is our recipe platform, which is built in. Now, what's really important is to make sure you're getting the most out of your cookie dough. And how you're going to do that is to go and see my cookie dough video that I have linked below when I share this later on, or on my YouTube channel, which shows you how to get the most out of cookie dough, including even translating foreign languages into English. So that's something that I've already prepared for you all to show you how that works. Don't forget, cookie dough is an app, so you can have the app. Up to 5 people and 5 devices can be logged into your cookie dough, so you can share it with your nearest and dearest. And as I said, here you can set your filters up via this little button here. You can also temporarily set filters here. You can search by recipe, or you can search by collection. Collection is bunching the recipes together into categories, etc. Dietary requirements, so you can use, let's use as an example, because it is quite a common thing, is gluten-free. So if you search up gluten-free, then all of these collections here cover you. All right, but you can also search, by the recipes as well. So if you tap there, change it back to recipes, anything gluten-free will come up. That's my favourite carrot cake. I love that. And I'm not strictly GF, but it is delicious. It's made with almonds. Very tasty. So there you go. You can search up, what do you have in your fridge at home? So I have chicken thigh in the fridge for later on. So if I type in chicken thigh, go. Then every recipe to do with chicken thigh will come up. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. We are spoiled for choice. There are so many recipes on here. I do believe, if I look, 10,582 in English. If you're lucky enough to speak another language, then you're even more spoiled for choice. 10,582 recipes. If you divide that by the rest of your life, you're never going to make them all. What you're going to do with this platform is think Spotify for recipes. You're going to create collections. So my collections, and I have a lot, are here. But my biggest collection is this one, a recipe to try. So these are recipes that I've found that I haven't tried yet. And there is 367 of those currently. And that list grows. And as I make them, I allocate them to specific collections. And then also we can share these collections as well. So I love Asian food, so I've got my Asian favorite collection. So when you're my customer, I can share those collections with you, which I do with my new customers, so that they've got these recipes to start them off. They know where to look. And then once you've got your favorites, if there's recipes in there that you don't love, you can just remove them out, or you can add more to them as you find them. Man, there's so many great things. I love Cookie Do, and yes, it is an ongoing subscription, but it is also an ongoing host reward. So if you come up to your 3 months of Cookie Do, then you need to just get in touch with me. Let's hook you up with a host reward to keep you going at a reduced price, or possibly even free. So, other thing is, of course, as consultants, we end up earning it. I feel like I can't see any messages. Oh, here we are. Oh, look, you've all appeared. Prove a second time. Made my pizza dough now. Have eggs boiling. Oh, gosh, Karen, you're amazing. Eating mango fruity dream. Oh, my goodness. Charlene, hello. Michelle, welcome. Made bread rolls. Oh, you guys are amazing. Look at that. Oh, I love. That's so good to see. I wasn't seeing the chat. Now I can see all your messages. See, there we are. So my goal as a consultant, and this is what I love doing, because I love what I do, and I think that comes across, is sharing with you all and keeping you continually inspired to love your Thermomix as much as I do. And how I do that is by doing lots of live videos through my social channels, and there'll be more to come for YouTube. But I'm also on Facebook, Instagram. I am on TikTok, but I'm starting to fall out of love with TikTok a little bit. I was doing a live on there recently, and yeah, I got shut down with a strike for no apparent reason. So here I am doing this YouTube lives, and I'm really enjoying it because I feel like there's not a negative energy out there. Guys, I know I'm possibly not for everyone, but trust me when I say I have an amazing team of 24 consultants. If you feel like you would like someone who you resonate a bit better with, then ask me who on my team would suit you, and I will definitely endeavour to find out. I love the girls that I work with. I'd love some guys to work with, but it's less and less these days. Although my branch manager, who is an ex-executive chef, John, he is male and he is amazing. Pizza's looking good, just checking. Yeah, so let's do a run through of what we've done today. So far we've made the frozen fruit ice cream, and already people are in the comments have been inspired to make that. God, you guys, no, you make my heart burst. Pizza dough, which is currently in the oven. Smell my kitchen, man, you should be here. It smells so amazing. Here we've got the chicken cooking. We've got the soup happening in the bowl here, and very soon we're going to add in our veggies that I have ribboned and zoodled with my spiralizer. Again, that's all one zucchini in there. It's just incredible. So we're going to have beautiful veggies. I've got my platter ready for that. The one thing I will do is when the pizza comes out, I will put it on my pizza board and cut that up and show you how delicious that is. And also I've got the little one still sitting here actually, proving for Junior for dinner. I might just quickly stick that in the fridge just to slow that proving down. Let's talk about that for a minute while we have a little bit of time. So if I just hit the little bookmark on my screen, it takes us back to where we are. We've got 1:25. So when you're talking dough, especially for anyone out there who maybe is new to Thermomix, dough, you can do so many different things with your dough. Now with this particular dough, if you were a busy person and you wanted to get home and stick it straight in the oven, there are a few things you can do. You can make your dough the morning of and put it in the fridge to do a slow proof through the day, bash the air out, cook it, right? You can make your bread dough before you go to bed, put it in your bread loaf tin overnight in the fridge and straight into a hot oven the next day. Now normally when we make bread, we might put it into a cold oven if we're making the dough making the bread straight away. If you're proving it overnight, hot oven straight in, okay? I know one of the girls on my team, Tiffany, is a bread queen. I have foodies galore with Liz, etc. Guys, again, I stress you, if you have any questions, please shoot them at me anytime, get in touch. As I say, if I don't know it, I know someone who does. The one thing I've learned the most in my 10 years as a consultant is food. And I love food, as you can probably tell. But I love healthy food made from scratch, more than anything. Packets are gone, jars are gone. The only thing I have in jars is I do still buy my mayonnaise, because I do say to people, you pick your battles. Some people deep dive and make everything from scratch. I'm probably mid-range, and then there's some that just do the odd thing here and there and not really bothered. But you can absolutely make your life so easy by making so many beautiful things from scratch. All right, so our lid is designed to catch the drips. Now our chicken is still not quite cooked through, but what we're going to do is just flip it. So it tells us to remove that carefully. The timer's up. So I'm just going to give those a little flip. Okay, you need to make sure you've got enough space for your steam to come up through there. There's my timer for my pizza. I will have a good close look at that in just a minute. Tap that. So just give him a flip. This next cook will cook that up perfectly. And steamed chicken is amazing because it keeps it lovely and, you know, that word that we all don't love. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just quickly sit that there for a minute, throw my veggies in. Alright, so all these beautiful spiralised vegetables. Put our chicken back on. Right, zucchini carrots, put that in there. There's a bit of liquid there, I'm just going to let that go. Flip my lid back on. Next. 5 more minutes. Right. So we've already got that lovely steam coming up through there. Now, if in 5 minutes' time your chicken is not quite cooked, then you just need to add a little bit more time. You can go back. You can reduce the time by tapping on here and turning the dial. You can add more time, all the things, okay? I'll just check if we've got any new comments coming in. Oh. No, everything's the same. Alright guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this today and you've learnt a little bit about the Thermomix. So the next step is going to be removing the chicken and the varoma basically. Now, one thing I love about our thermoserver here, the 2.6 litre, which is our standard thermoserver, fits this on top, keeps that nice and warm while we then are going to process the soup. So remember, there is no dairy in there at this point. What we're going to do is just take the potatoes and the leek out of the simmer basket, put it into the stock and the water and the onions and those little offcuts of veggies that have been cooking down in the bottom here. Blend that up, and then we are going to have this beautiful soup, which we're going to put into a container ready for soup. And then we're going to leave some of the soup in the bottom, and we're going to add a little bit of sour cream, creme fraiche, or plain yogurt. All those things work. And a bit of Dijon mustard. Tell me you've been to Costco without telling me you've been to Costco. And make a sauce. And what I'm going to do is present that on this platter so it looks really lovely. So we're going to have soup, chicken and veggies. Yum. How good is that? Alright, so we've got a couple of minutes. Let me check the pizza. Oh, she is perfect. She is perfect. Alright, the only thing I will say is this oven gives me a facial every time. Alright, in we go. Now I shall leave that on to do the child's pizza. So she's a little, I probably should have headed there straight away when the timer went off, to be honest. Maybe left it a little bit longer, but I don't mind it a little golden crusty. Alright, there we go. Look at that. So we have made frozen fruit ice cream, which is out in the freezer. We've got our yummy pizza bianca to go with our chicken veloute dinner. And we've done all that in 80 minutes. Right? There's a lot of chat in between. Now, if this was you at home, you'd probably be sitting down, having a break, putting your feet up, instead of standing here talking to a screen like I am. Alright, so let's just cut this up. So again, think about when anyone is coming to dinner unexpectedly, you can make beautiful food so quick and easy. Look at that. Yum. So good, right? So there's our pizza bianca. We'll set her aside for a minute. And then I'm just going to have a quick cheeky look at the chicken. Now I reckon it's going to need a couple more minutes. So I'm going to adjust the time right now. I'm just tapping that dial and putting it forward a bit. I have got a hell of a lot of veggies in here, which again, that means the steam is working harder to get up to that chicken. So just check your chicken, adjust your time, and you'll be fine. Oh, Jabe. I know, I always will be live on Facebook too. Just for this special occasion today, I really want to keep this as a bit of a demonstration. I have lots of people reach out and they want to know what the machine can do. So I really want to use this as a tool for those people. And the bonus is you guys get to tune in and watch live today. Now I will say also that, oh God, it's gone. Yep. So, what was I going to say then? I don't know. Anyway, any questions you have, again, just reach out. I come across, I suppose I should talk about payment options, shouldn't I? That would be a good thing to do. So we have many payment options, all right? So the first one is an outright payment, full on. Yeah, I know, it's good to see it over and over, isn't it? The more you see it, the more you learn, the more you love it. I say that all the time. With payment options, so it's a one-off payment on a credit card, debit card, whatever. There is bank transfer. There is an Easy 3. So Easy 3 is an initial payment of $1,000, and I should have this information in front of me, which I can and I will. So I tell you the right thing, because that's the worst if I don't. So Easy 3, initial payment of $1,029. You get the machine straight away with that initial payment. Then second payment and third payment of $800, which comes 30 days, and then 30 days after that. That does include a $50 admin fee, but it's a bit like breaking it down and spreading it out. There's no credit checks or anything. It's very easy to do. We have Zip Money, 24 months interest-free is standard. And when you choose Zip Money, you are not paying anything up front. And you can set your weekly, monthly repayments to suit you through that application process. There is no penalty to pay it out sooner. So you will save, interest-free is great, but there is a monthly fee to do it. So it's not free completely. So the sooner you pay it off, the better. And when you've paid it off, close it and you're good. The other one is Hum. Hum is a 5% deposit. Hum is, it has an establishment fee, which if you're already on Hum is significantly less, a monthly fee, and you can choose 3 to 24 months of paying it off. We have Afterpay, and also we have Earn. Now, I cannot encourage you all enough. There's going to be some exciting things coming with Earn, I believe, because we are now running under Vorwerk International, and Earn is an exciting way to get a Thermomix in your kitchen right now, and you are paying it off through selling Thermomixes. So, I just want to have a look. No, I think that needs just a little longer. I'm just going to flip it again. Flip it again. Nobody wants raw chicken around here. So we'll just step back and do that one more time. Alright. So So again, got a lot of veggies under there. Let's have a look. You can see the steam is definitely coming up. The veggies look great. So just go back. Oh, too far. All right, give it another couple of minutes. While it's doing that, I'm going to have a taste of the pizza, because why not? It's looking at me, it's too tempting. You just can't beat fresh. Fresh is amazing. So yes, earning a Thermomix. If it's something that you're thinking about, you need to reach out to me ASAP. Let's talk about getting a Thermomix in your kitchen. Now, the wonderful thing about earning a Thermomix as well and becoming a consultant is we not only get paid, but we get absolutely rewarded with incentives, including overseas trips. I'm this year heading to Germany. It's happening. Qualification ends for me on Monday, the 6th of January. If you are looking to buy, I need you to come straight away to me now. I'm also going to Hobart for my team leader conference and New Zealand in September for our ThermoFest yearly conference trip as well. If you would like to be a part of that, then get in touch. I cannot stress to you how rewarding it is doing this as a job. I do it full time. Some people are part time. Some people just dedicate a tiny bit of time. Some people sell regularly. Some people sell here and there. There's no real rule to it. So please, even if you're slightly curious, as I say, get in touch, get the information, make that informed decision. Oh God. I know. Now, and that's the other thing. When you become an owner, you can have as many demonstrations as you want. You can get your friends to come and join my live videos, host rewards, all the things. So have a think about who you know needs to invest in the Thermomix. Quite often when I meet people, they go, oh, I think Sally would really love one of these. Then let's get Sally in and let's get Sally onto investing in the Thermomix with you. Reach out to your friends. Who do you know? You'd be surprised if you put it out there to the universe how many people you know maybe have heard of one, want to hear about one, or have one and want to buddy up and share inspiration together. That's one great thing about being a consultant. We're always catching up and talking food and inspiring each other to try all different new things, which is wonderful, and helping each other. So, and what I love to do is help you, my customers, and anyone else out there to get the most out of your investment. Because I get it. It's a big investment and I want you to love it as much as I do. Alright. She's looking pretty good. Obviously when you're working with steam here, you're lifting it away from you. I just want to check my chicken. No, I'll give it the full time. I might just switch him around a bit. Take the middle guy, he's definitely ready. Now to the side. 1.5 minutes, it'll be done. I've got a little puppy dog watching me now. Alright, well, this has been fabulous. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are watching this after the live event, again, get in touch. Don't forget, if you are watching this after the live event, you can also speed up the boring bits. Please don't, I should have said this at the start, please come through to the end, because it's really good to see the different things that the Thermomix can do, not just the 1 or 2 things at the start. So, anyway, dinner's sorted for me. Yummy soup, chicken and veggies, can't beat it. Oh, and pizza Bianca. 44. Alright, so this is going to sit on here. I shall sit it here to the side here. 30 seconds. Oh, I just want to eat the pizza, it's so delicious. I'm dying to dunk it in the soup, right? So think winter, soup and bread, fresh bread, all are done in an hour. And that's not hands-on time either. And it does say at the bottom, steaming. Prolong the time if necessary until the chicken is cooked through. Because tenders might be smaller, bigger, depending on how much veg you've got in here. Lots of factors. Alright. So, just safely, by catching the drips with the lid, coming to here, putting that on, that keeps that for me. Now, what we're doing here, we're going to use our spatula, because our potato and leek is in here. We want to remove that out of the basket and pour it straight into the bowl. So remember, what's in there? Vegetable stock, a little bit of carrot and zucchini, onions, garlic, water, and now potato and leek. No dairy. Watch this. This is nuts. So here it even shows you how to remove the simmer basket. I've done that. Okay. So we're blending. So this is blend mode. And it is slowly going to get up to speed. And it's going to turn that into the most delicious creamy soup with no dairy. These are host rewards. Become a consultant or host demos, you can add these too. Okay, so onto a platter, I'm jumping ahead here. Onto a platter, I've put my cooked veggies, which look beautiful and colourful. Alright, and to that I'm going to place the chicken on the top. Yum. 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 Alright, so just stack that on the top. Onto your veggies. You can serve this up on the table and everyone can help themselves. So that's that finished with. All goes in the dishwasher, of course. So here is my beautiful, creamy potato and leek soup. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my friend, it's been a while. So you make a heap of soup, and then you want to leave some. I won't leave too much. Right, you want to leave probably enough so that it's just sitting around the blades, I would say. Maybe a little less because soup is delicious, right? Now, next on, it will tell you to do that. I'm going to put the lid on to keep that soup nice and hot. There's my veggies and my chicken. So into this now, we want to add, and it says 1.5 tablespoon of creme fraiche, right? Sour cream, yogurt, all the things. So this is where we are going to add a little bit of dairy. You could really keep it dairy free and just totally leave this out, but you know, whatever. You do you. Depending on your lifestyle and how you choose to eat, everyone is different. So there's a last little bit of sour cream in there, so I'll pop that in. And then to that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. You could use seedy mustard. Really, I think you could use any mustard. Dijon, of course, is a light flavour. Right, and then we're going to put our lid back on. And we're going to make a sauce. 10 seconds. Alright, so let's clear this because we're going to have to take some beautiful photos and videos of the end result here today. Minus the piece of pizza. Alright, so here is our sauce. Okay, so this we're going to drizzle over the top of this, like so, just lightly. And then what I tend to do is put the rest of that, and I've got one in here, into my little jug, which are on the mix shop, the little thermo server jugs. These you can buy. For anyone to add extra sauce, of course, depending on how saucy you are. Oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So, Fruity Dream frozen fruit ice cream, Pizza Bianca, potato and leek soup, chicken and vegetables with a sauce. All made in the Thermomix TM6. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. I've loved presenting to you. Again, you may be attached to one of the people in my team. Welcome. I'm here to help as well. And I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, reach out to me or to whoever has given this video to you to watch. And if you are a customer already, or even if you're not, but you know someone who needs a Thermomix, referral bonuses as well. We have host rewards and referral bonuses. We have lots of wonderful things to help you. Thank you, all the things. So get in touch. I'm here to help anyone Australia-wide. See you. Bye.